Hello, my Ali Pallies, and thank you for joining me today. Now, today, welcome to my pyjama party. I've decided I'm not going to apologise anymore. You all know I've been laid up and I can barely walk, and so all my videos will come to you from my room in my pyjamas. It's going to be the new beauty trend, okay? So it's Ali Pallies pyjama party from now on. Okay, now, yesterday I showed you the Lovegasm palette, which has been re-released by Charlotte Tilbury. And I hadn't received my other two items, which are new from Charlotte Tilbury, which I will be talking about today. So first of all, we have the Jewel lips in Pinkgasm Sunset. And the other thing that I only got one shade, and I'm actually relieved. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Spoiler alert. And I also got Pinkgasm Sunset Beauty Light Wand, which I'm glad I got. Okay. Now, I had a request from mangomama. And she said, how does the Lovegasm palette compare with Nudegasm? Now, here's what I do when I get a comparison request. I go and remind myself quickly about the video that I did. And the really weird thing is, I search back, I have a thing of notes that I can scroll and find something really quickly. It looks like I never did a video of Nudegasm. That can't be true. There's no way I would not have done a video. So I reckon what I must have done is a live trying on and then not put it in my title or something, but it's really bugged me now. Anyway, so I thought this gave me the idea. As well as comparing Nudegasm and Nudegasm and Lovegasm, I would actually put Nudegasm on today so that you can actually go and compare the two videos as well and see how they compare. So, thank you for mangomama for the suggestion. It's really helped me to decide what I'm going to do today. So, let me just show you, before I start, I'm going to show you Lovegasm and I'm going to show you Nudegasm next to one another. I'll just get these ready and I'll be right back. Okay, this is such a good question because you can see here, they're next to one another, that actually the highlighters are very similar. Now, the main difference is you've got two matte shades here. And then you've got this peachy shade, whereas these are a lot darker, okay, with the blushes. So the main difference is basically, with Nudegasm, you've got a peach shimmery blush as opposed to these more berry shades of blushes in Lovegasm. But I am sure that you're not going to find an awful lot of difference. This one's slightly cooler tone, so probably would make a better contour shade. This is Nudegasm. And of course, this one is really nice as a kind of transition shade to use in your eyes. Or if you're very fair, it would work as a really good contour. So that one is Nudegasm and that one is Lovegasm. And I'm going to put this on today on my eyes. And I'm going to put it on, but I'm going to use the new, there's so many gasms, isn't there? The new Pinkgasm Sunset. So many gasms. It's really weird. Anyway, I'm going to use this with the Pinkgasm Sunset. And I'm going to show you the lipstick as well. So for those of you that have joined because you want to see the new items, I'm going to apply those first. Now, first, let me apply this Jewel lips. Now, you know she's brought out a few Jewel lips in the past. I looked at this and I have to say I wasn't that excited about it because I could see from the swatches it was quite opaque. And I'm glad that I only bought one because I would have been furious if I bought two. Spoiler alert, I'm not that keen. Now, here is the Jewel lips. You can see it looks lovely in the tube. And if you go onto Charlotte's site, you'll see some beautiful lip swatches. But I think, dare I say it, I'm going to say it, I speak the truth, they are a little bit misleading. Because what happens on a lot of these photo shoots when they are showing these is they put a little bit of something on with a lip liner underneath. Now, I can't prove it, but I'm going to show you what this looks like on me. I've got nothing on my lips, and I'm making sure that I don't have any remnants of foundation on my lips. And I'm now going to show you Pinkgasm Sunset, and this is the darker shade of the two. There you are. Now, it is so opaque that, yes, it looks pretty, but I could get exactly the same effect from a 99p drugstore lip gloss. So, in my opinion, complete waste of money. I had to do the throwing over my shoulder. Not impressed at all. Now, of course, you can make it look lovely if you put a nice pink lip liner underneath, but so you can with a nice clear lip gloss. It is nothing special, nothing different, and I'm sorry, but I'm completely underwhelmed. So now we've got the negative stuff out the way, let's move on to the Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in Pinkgasm Sunset. And I'll go and see if I can find that lip product and pick it up off the floor before I trip on it in my crutches. Okay, I swatched these earlier and put it on TikTok and on Instagram. You've probably seen this. So I swatched Pinkgasm Sunset against Pinkgasm, and I'm going to put those swatches here. Okay, so I'm now going to try some on my cheeks. And I'm going to blend this in with a brush, this side, and I'll blend it in with my fingers, the other side, so you can see the difference. This is very pretty, and I like it very much. And this is really good if you've got a darker skin tone. So let me dot this on with my fingers. It's really a personal preference how you apply this. Some people prefer to use brushes. Some people prefer to put it on with your fingers. If you put it on with your fingers, it will sort of melt into the skin and it will give you a slightly more skin-like effect, but it may not be as good a coverage. Do you see what I mean? So I'm now going to put some more of that on with my brush and dab it on. Otherwise, I'm going to look all uneven. Now, you know, this is a no-brainer. Charlotte's so good at doing these wands. I do think what she tends to do, again, maybe this is me being a bit critical, is when she gets a popular product like Pinkgasm, because there was a big trend on TikTok, then they go mad and start calling everything Pinkgasm, just like with Pillow Talk. You know, they go mad and start calling everything Pillow Talk. And people get confused. And, you know, it is just a name. You know, just because it's called Pinkgasm Sunset doesn't mean it's like Pinkgasm. It is for darker skin, and I think people with darker skin are going to love it, and I love it too. So I'm not critical of the product. I'm just a little bit critical of the marketing of why do you have to slog a name to death just because a product was so popular? Just give it another name. Sorry. I'm probably not in her good books, but never mind. Anyway, of course, you can use this because pigment is pigment on your lips. Now that is a lipstick. Put it over your gloss and you're talking. Look at that. And of course, you could use this as a topper on your eyes, which I might just do in a minute. I'm going to put some swatches next of Glowgasm versus Nudegasm next to one another, so you can see all the shades next to one another. And then I'm going to come back and we'll do a look using Nudegasm. So as you can see, it's a little bit more muted, Nudegasm to Lovegasm, and the bronzer shade isn't really a bronzer shade, it's more of a contour shade. And then you, as I've said, you've got this lovely transition shade, which is a really useful one to have for your eye makeup. So let me just show you. I'm talking about this one here, this sort of light brown shade. It's such a useful one to have in your kit because you can go in and it just gives you that look of a shadow. As I've said before in videos, I'm not a fan of using bronzing shades to contour. I know Charlotte does it a lot. I know a lot of people do, so they can get multi-use out of products. But because of my training in stage makeup, and we were taught about using shadow and light, it just always seems a bit weird to me to be putting something that's sort of browny orange to imitate shadow. So you can see that is more like a shadow than a bronzer. And I'm going to show you obviously this one here. Now I can build up in my eyes, put this in the corner because this is going to also look more like a shadow. Now you might not want to go in with this darker shade on your eyes if you're fair skinned, because it might be a little bit too much, but you can always use that as a liner as well. Use your liner brush, which I'll show you, and you can use it to do a lovely natural smoke. And as you know, again, if you've been following me for a while, I love using powder to line my lids. It just is so flattering. I might go over that again once I put something on my lids, but just showing you what that looks like. And I'm using Charlotte's liner brush for that. Okay, so now I'm going to use this peachy shade and I'm going to put it on my mobile lid like so. Now, just as I showed you with the Lovegasm palette, if you want to make it pop a little bit more, you just get a wet brush. And I'm going to show you that right now. Lovely. I love a peachy glow. And that's going to go really nice with this blush as well. I'm going to add some of that in with that blush. Now I'm going to take a pop of the highlighter shade. Now the highlighter shade, comparing it to Lovegasm, is more of your original Film Star Bronze and Glow champagne shade, as opposed to a slightly more golden shade on Lovegasm. And I'm just popping some of that in the centre while it's still a bit damp. There we go. And then I'm going to take a smudge brush and I'm going to pop some of that under my brow and in the inner corner. Okay, now I'm going to take the peachy blush that I've put on my eyelids and I'm going to mix some in with this new Lovegasm Sunset because I think it will look really pretty. Oh yes, it makes it peachy pink. I love a good peachy pink blush. And let's put a little dab in the centre of my lip, just in the centre there. Right, now I'm going to show you the contour shade, because the contour shade in the Nudegasm palette, as I said, I keep repeating myself, but it's a true contour shade. And this is actually picking up more pigment than the Lovegasm palette, so I've probably put on a bit too much, because yesterday when I was using the Lovegasm palette, it hardly showed up at all. So I'll go a bit easier on the other cheek. I need to go a bit more, otherwise I'm just going to look a bit odd again, a bit unequal. I dug out this the other day, and this, believe it or not, is actually a nose shaping brush. Can you believe they actually make a brush for that? It's by Morphe and it's made for sculpting your nose. So I'm going to go in with that and sculpt my nose using the darker one. And then finish off with the highlighter, because I'm definitely missing highlighter at the moment. Now this has reminded me that she brought out the Nudegasm palette after Lovegasm. And this is definitely easier to pick up pigment than it was in the Lovegasm palette. That's why I was a bit heavy-handed with that contour. And also I'm noticing it with the highlighter. You don't have to scratch as much beneath the surface of the lettering in order to get your pigment. So that's definitely something that's a main difference between the two palettes in terms of the formula. They've worked on it so that the stamping, where they've stamped the lettering, they haven't put a coating on it that's affected it in the same way as the Lovegasm palette. Right, I'm going to finish off by putting a bit of eyeliner, a bit of mascara, and I'm going to come back and show you the finished result. Okay, I'm done, but I did promise you, didn't I, that I was going to put a little bit of this on my eyelid. So I'm going to put it on the outer corner so you can see what that looks like. so. So I'm going to call this the Pajamagasm look, because we're putting gasm on everything now. The Pajamagasm Pinkgasm look. So the upshot of this is, I honestly would say to anyone watching this, forget this. Don't waste your money. Certainly, I would not get both shades, because it's clear lip gloss. Now, I did collect a load of her lip glosses before, as you know, and some of them are very clear as well. I'm not going to be collecting these as well. In fact, I think that this is probably a rehash of one of her lip glosses, her lip lusters that she did. I'm pretty sure it kind of looks a little bit like Portobello Girl, or no, Candy Darling, but in new packaging with the word, what was it? The word Jewel on it. But really, it's clear. It comes out clear. And I think the photos are very misleading, because they've got a dark model on there that looks like she's got bright pink lips. And there is just no way that she's achieved that just by putting that product on. There is something under her lips, something under there that has given her a little bit of pinkness before she's applied it, I believe. Which you can do, as I said, but you can do that and then put a clear lip gloss over the top. Enough said about that. If I were you, I would purchase this and use it as a lipstick, because isn't this pretty? You can use it on your eyes, you can use it on your lips, and it makes a really nice lipstick. And doesn't feel too sticky on the lips either. So, save your money. And if you haven't bought Pinkgasm before, get the original Pinkgasm and get this new Pinkgasm Sunset, and leave the lip products alone. There you go. Hopefully I've saved you some money. Take care, and thank you so much to mangomama, I think it's mangomama, for the request, because it's given me my look today. And as you can see, it's very similar to the look that I did the other day using Lovegasm, except slightly more muted and a little bit more peachy. And I deliberately put the same eyeliner underneath, the blue eyeliner. Thanks for watching. See you all soon. Mwah! Okay, I've just had some information from Tracy1413. Thanks, Tracy. Now, she was at a masterclass online with Charlotte Tilbury, and someone on there said that this new shade of blush is actually a mixture of two previous shades. Now, do you remember this blush? This is one of the matte blush ones, and it's called Dream Pop. Well, it's actually a mix of this and another shade, and I'm going to show you those swatches coming up. So Tracy said it's a mixture of Dream Pop and Pillow Talk, but she didn't say which one. So you're looking now at Pinkgasm Sunset. So I tested it out, and first you'll see I mixed it with Pillow Talk Original, and that didn't give me the same result. So then I mixed it with Pillow Talk Medium, and hey presto, it is actually the same. It might look slightly different because obviously every mix is different, but it's definitely that one. So to recap, if you've got Pillow Talk Dream Pop and you've got Pillow Talk Medium Beauty Light Wand, or Beauty Light Wand, those two, you don't need to buy this because it's a mixture of those two shades. So I hope I've saved some people even more money. See you all soon. Mwah.